So we're about 4 minutes away now. So if you want to grab a seat, there is, I think, 1 or 2 just in there if you want to grab a seat. If not, it is only standing room now. So I've got a man talking in my ear, and if anyone of you thinks James Martin's got an easy job, trust me, you try having someone talk in your ear and not say what they're saying to you at the same time. So they're going to count me down. We're going to count in from 10, and then you can join in. It's very easy. It goes 10, 9, 8, so just in case you want to rehearse it. Okay? And at that point, we'll go live, and then we'll bring Akhtar on stage, and Akhtar's going to go through this amazing dish with you. So that's only a couple of minutes away. So any of you hiding behind pillars, come round so you can see. Come on in. You can watch Akhtar's dish. Just before we do that, I'm going to do my social media straw poll. How many of you here on social media have a social media account? Hands up. So this section of the audience, none of you have a social media account? No? Seriously? Nothing? Even my mum's on Facebook. Seriously, she is. She is. The amount of stuff she shares, it's embarrassing. Okay, so people on social media, hands up. You can be on more than one chat. Hands up. How many's on Facebook? Okay, quite a few of you. Hands up. How many on Twitter? Okay, hands up. How many on Instagram? Okay, it's actually more on Instagram than Twitter. Okay, how many of you on Snapchat? Okay, so not as many of you on Snapchat. Okay, so last question, okay? You can only choose one. So you go to your phone, the first social media app you choose, hands up Instagram. Okay, hands up Twitter. Wow. Hands up Facebook. Yep, wins every time. Hands up Snapchat. Okay, any PR agents in the audience? I tell you all the time, do not neglect Facebook. Okay. Okay, so we're about a minute away. So come on in. If anybody wants to watch Akhtar, come on in. As you can see, he's got an amazing sea bass here. We're talking through what he's done with the aubergine. A whole range of products here. I know he's got some samples he's going to send out to you. Anyone seen Akhtar on Great British Menu? Yeah. Okay. We won't mention him overrunning. Thanks, Nick. See you, mate. Well done. See you on the 6th. "15 seconds, I'm being told. Four, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Staff Canteen Live. We are live. Give yourself a wave. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Now, put your hands together. Give a massive round of applause to Akhtar Islam.
Hey.
Welcome to Staff Canteen Live, Chef. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
What are you cooking?
We're cooking today. It's a bit of wild bass. It's going to be three major components with the sauce. So we've got some wilted greens. So we've got a selection of different textures in the greens. So we've got some choy some spinach, some samphire, and then we're going to serve that with an aubergine caviar, essentially a spiced aubergine caviar, and then the sauce itself. It's a coconut milk which has been infused with tamarind and raw mango, which is the unripened mango, which is a very popular souring agent used in southern India. So that's what it is. So yeah, cool.
Off we go,
Let's
Chef.
start. So all right. So first things first, we'll get the sauce on because I guess that's what takes the longest. So let's get this going. We need some spoons. So coconut milks. South Indian cuisine, coconut is the thing. So we use the coconut oil, we use the milk, we use coconut as a grinding spice as well. So we'll start off with a cold pressed coconut oil. So that'll go into the pan and we'll get that melted off. So in that, you got the tempering spices. So we're going to use mustard seeds. So we're going to get that to pop. And then once that's done that, we're going to put some curry leaf. We're going to put some dried red chilies into that. And then we're going to cool the pan down with some finely chopped white onion. So I'll get that chopped up now. Keep an eye on that. Young man, thank you.
So you guys at the front are going to get an amazing sense of aromas in a minute.
So yeah, so we get this onion just finely chopped with this lovely new knife that came from, where's Will? Where's Will?
Will's over there.
There you go. Thank you, Will.
Mind your fingers. So Akhtar, you sort of first sprang to everyone's attention on a program called The F Word.
Yeah, so
how did that come about?
Quite a many. Gordon was doing a competition to find Britain's best local restaurant or independent restaurant, and that's they came to see me, and for some reason they liked me, and I ended up on the show and I ended up winning.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
Which was fantastic, and that then Gordon, with all the production teams that he's involved with, opened up so many more doors for me. Then I did Great British Menu, and I got to work with the likes of Tom, Glyn, blah blah blah. And Glyn's obviously, we're all good mates from before anyway, but it just one led to the other, and pleased to say, I made it to the banquet on Great British Menu as well, which I wasn't late for the banquet though. It's been an interesting journey. So we're just gonna get this oil nice and hot, and what we'll try to do, we're gonna get this mustard seed to pop. I'm a bit old school. I'm all about gas, but I'm getting used to all this new technology. So in our new kitchens, it's all induction. So I do my best to avoid those kitchens because, when it comes to technology, I'm a bit scared. But which is quite weird. But so just waiting for this to pop off. It's very important to get the mustard seed. So not only are you trying to infuse the sauce with the mustard flavour, but what you can do, it can cause mild indigestion if you don't get the mustard seed to pop off. So it's important that you do that. So let's just get this nice and hot, which I can see the pan is starting to see some movement in the pan. So yeah, cool. All right, let's get that in there. So there you go. So this it can get a bit interesting. So be careful at this point.
So hopefully now you can all see inside from the...
It's actually starting to pop out of the pan. So there you go. At this point, I'll turn the heat down, and then curry leaf, and that's just for aroma. And then just a whole chili, and that's just, once again, we're just using flavors to infuse this coconut milk. We're going to get some onion in there. So what we don't want to do now is we're going to use the onion to cool the oil down again, because we don't want to burn the curry leaf. We don't want to burn the chili. So all we did earlier on, just to heat the pan up, just to pop the mustard seed. So now this onion's going to cool the pan down. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, just to get that onion sweating off. So we don't want to get any color on the onion, so we're not caramelizing. We're just sweating it off to just soften it up a bit, because we're going to use the onion to give the sauce a bit of body and flavor. So it's not about like when you're cooking meats and things like that, where you caramelize the onion down to add color to the sauce. We don't want that. The color for this sauce is going to come from the spices.
So you mentioned this is a dish from southern India.
Yeah.
And is that reflective of what Lasan does, or just reflective of this dish?
It's Lasan. What Lasan's all about, it's a representation of food from the Indian subcontinent.
Okay.
So we try, depending on the season, depending on the time of year, we'll take influences from different parts of India. And and certain dishes like this one, we'll actually take influences from different parts of India and bring it onto one dish. Like the aubergine is a very North Indian thing.
Okay.
So you've got the tip, Kerala, you've got the Konkan coast, and then you've got Punjab, which is right on the other end of India. That couple of thousand miles in between.
Yeah.
So very different influences, very different flavors, but it works together on the dish.
Okay.
And
so if people want to book for you, want to come to the restaurant, what do they have to do? Book, go on your website?
Yeah, website, give us a call, and book ahead.
Yeah,
it always helps.
Book.
It always helps to book ahead, and then get yourself in and enjoy, really. But so what I've done here, I've just put in some garlic and ginger paste. So it's garlic and ginger, garlic 40%, ginger 60, just blitz down smooth. So we've got that. I'm just gonna add a little bit of colour to the garlic and ginger, and then once that's done, we can start going in with the spices. So, like I said earlier on, the colour on this sauce is going to come from the turmeric. So, we're going to go in with turmeric. We're going to go with ground coriander. And then we've got Kashmiri chili here. So this chili, it's great for color. It's still a chili powder, so it's got heat in it. But compared to other chili powders, it adds more color than heat.
Okay.
So it's something that I use. So we're just gonna get these spices slightly toasted off, and to that we're not going to cook that for too long because the spices are powdered down, so we don't really want it to burn. We'll put some tomato in.
Oh, who can smell that? Can you smell it? It smells amazing, doesn't it? Can you not smell it in the second row? Should have got in earlier. I did tell you.
A drop of water, just help cook these spices out and bring it all together. So the flavors, from Kerala, it's a very hot, humid region, and one of the things that I'd say that follows through a lot of their dishes, it's sour, different grades of sourness. The food's a lot fresher, I'd say. So here for souring agents, we're going to use tomato. We're going to use tamarind. So tamarind adds a little bit of sweetness as well, so that's sweet and sour. But the main sharpness will come from raw mango, which is we call it raw, but it's unripened mango. So that's where most of the actual sourness comes from. It's got a lovely sour note to it, unlike lemon or lime. It's completely different. So it's one that's very much favoured in that part of the world. So if you can just send this back to the guys at the back, and if they just get it peeled down, and then just thin slivers and with a bit of salt, and then they can send it out around the crowd. So what we're going to do, while the... actually, young man, if you can just peel that down, and I'll carry on this end. Just be careful of your hands. So what we're doing here, we're cooking out the spices. What's happened, the spices, the ground spices, they've taken in the oil, and it's starting to release the oil again, so we know we can move on to the next stage.
Okay.
So we've put the tomato in, that's evaporated away. Now we're going to put the tamarind in. So it's just a block of tamarind pulp, which has just been cooked down, really, and in a bit of boiling water, and then pressed.
We got another peeler.
How we doing there?
Or we just got one peeler.
What's that peeler? Oh, there's a peeler just there.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Good. So what you can do now, so now you've gone around it all, just literally, we'll get rid of this, and I just need, get rid of the, get rid of these bits, and then I just need you to essentially peel it down to the actual, the core. So, but then keep that separate. So yeah, just be careful of your hands. Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Happy days. Cheers. So yeah, we're just going to drop a little bit of water in again, whilst... Sorry, what's your name? I'm really terrible with names. Andrew, yeah. It's the life of abuse, a life of chefs. We've calmed down a lot now, but, before, I think there was a time we all thought, you get into this trade, you're a rock star. And we used to... nevertheless, I'm struggling to remember names, but Andrew, thank you very much. So yeah, so we've cooked the spices down. We're just going to wait for that raw mango to come. Keep going through both sides, and then once he's given me that, I'm just combining it with the coconut milk. So this coconut milk, it's really important to get a really good quality thick. A lot of the ones you open the can and it's like single cream. It needs to be like a really thick clotted yogurt, and that's there's some good brands out there, but yeah, coconut milk is very important to get a really good quality one.
So what Andrew's doing now, as you can see, we've got some of the unripe mangoes being sliced in the back, and Akhtar's just asked us to slice them really thinly and put a little bit of salt on, and they're going to come out in the audience. You can have a taste of those very shortly.
And they actually serve it as a snack on the street, so they'll
okay.
Yeah, on street food vendors, so they'll sell these raw mango, that salt, chili powder, and people going around
Fantastic.
It's like an ice cream. I mean, I'd prefer an ice cream over a mango, but it's a very interesting flavour. But it just goes to show culturally how things are different.
Yeah. And the whole street food thing's gone mad.
Yeah. Incredible in Birmingham at the moment. There's a lot going on, yeah.
But Birmingham's a really diverse city. It's an amazing food city, isn't it?
It is. I mean, if you talk to myself or Glyn and Brad, we'd all say it is the centre of the universe.
Funny enough, you do.
Everyone else is just cottoning on. But yeah, no. I mean, Birmingham is an incredible place. Thank you very much. So the mango goes in. Can you just wipe this board down for me? Thank you very much. And I hope, one of the things with Indian food, everyone thinks, oh, God, there's a lot to do. It's quite complex. You know, there's a lot involved. I mean, it's good for me because it keeps me in a job, but I hope you'll find like it is quite simple to actually put something together. So we're going to put this, you know, amazing dish together, and I think you'll find it's pretty simple to do. So, you know, that's the sauce pretty much done. We're just going to let it simmer away now.
Would you make this in advance, Akhtar? Or do you make it?
Yeah. It's
and
nice
how long
sauce.
will it
holds
keep for?
well. I mean, a couple of days in the fridge, but you know, essentially, it's so easy to do. You know, you can do it for that meal.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this sauce, it goes really well with any fish or seafood. Like, you know, you get this, get some mussels, toss it in a pan, pour the sauce over it, and then, you know, have a nice bread to go with it. There's that as well. It's a really good versatile sauce.
So is it an English myth that curries taste better on the second day?
I think.
Bear in mind, we have chips with curry here in the UK.
Depends on the curry, depends on the dish, but you know, certain things. It's all about flavors maturing, right? So there are certain dishes that work really well the following day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, certain stocks sauces that we do at Lassane takes 4 days to make.
Okay.
So you know, it just really depends on the actual dish. So we've got somewhere to put this.
Yep.
Let's drop that there for now. Have a quick taste.
You want to have a taste, Andrew? See what it's like?
It's got a little bit of heat, so I'm going to just put a little bit more coconut milk in. And then we'll move that to a side. Go on, dig in, mate. Give it a try. So what we're going to do now is leave it to simmer, and we're going to let that raw mango do its work and let that sourness get into the sauce. So I'll leave that just here. So the next component for the sauce is, for the dish, is the aubergine, which Andrew's going to get in. So what I've done to this aubergine is I wanted to have that a little bit of smokiness to it. So I did it on my stove. I just literally put it on the open flame, and one side of it I did on the open flame itself. Then I wrapped it and put it in the oven to cook it through finally. So you got that light smoky flavour going through it. So if you don't mind, if you just scoop that out for me, and then just put it into a bowl for me. And we did have a bowl here, but just there you go. Happy days. There you go. There's a couple. There you go. If you can drop that into that for me, and then whilst it's doing that, I'll get the rest of the components together for the actual what we refer to as a bartha. Thank you.
So, Akhtar, in terms of the menu at Lassane at the moment, is it influenced by seasons as well as region?
Yeah, I think, you know, right now, you know, we've got a lot of game on the menu.
Yeah.
The food tends to be a lot richer. It's winter.
Yeah.
A little heartier, more warming flavours. And then when it comes to summer, things get lighter. The sauces get lighter. A lot more seafood on the menu. So, yeah, it's very much... Because, you know, for me... Though, you know, I'm a Brummy lad. I was born and brought up in Birmingham, you know, that this is me. So, you know, modern British cooking is what comes to me first. And then the flavours from the Indian subcontinent is something that I've had to learn. And I did that through a lot of travelling. And, you know, my cultural heritage obviously helped. But, you know, our sensibilities when it comes to food and how we put menus together, that very much drives how I do things.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me?
Yeah, a little bit of salt, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, sure. All right, so for the bartha, what we're going to do here, we've got some shallots, which we're going to just sweat off slightly, and then spice-wise, we've just got cracked coriander and cumin seed. All right, cool. All right, so we're just going to speed that along a bit. Thank you.
So our sauce all right in the pan here?
Yeah, it's just going to simmer away. That's it.
So how many chefs do you employ at Lassane?
In our team, on any service, weekday service, there'll be 7 of us, and then weekends there'll be 9. So, you know, what we tend to do, we do a lot of component cooking there. So you do need the bods on. You've got all the different sections that everyone needs to, you know, add their little bit to, really. But yeah, so it's quite labour intensive. That's the problem with, like, when it comes to fine dining.
Yeah.
It really is like a, you know, you do it because you want to do it. You're never going to get rich off fine dining, really.
So coming around in the audience now, then we've got some of the raw mango that Akhtar's using. So we've just peeled it, sliced it, and put a little bit of salt on it.
How's that doing?
As Akhtar mentioned there, it's in India they'll serve it as street food with a little bit of chili on it. But we thought, We'll not put the chili on just for the audience, but have a taste. Tell us what it's like. Good, yeah. Nodding heads is a good sign, so yeah.
So just going to get this.
Anyone seen raw mango before? I haven't. No.
Shallot. So that's gone into that. I've got some garlic, which I've just slowly roasted off already.
Okay.
So that's just going to go in. I just want to take that harshness off, raw garlic. So literally, that's just going to get chopped in to this mix. Is that does that work on induction?
Yeah.
Does it work on induction?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, it's going.
It's going. Yep, cool. So this sauce, I'm just going to give it a little taste. I mean, this is something like you could leave to simmer for about 45 minutes to get a nice. It's allow that flavour to develop, but as we're in a rush, can I have that salt back, please?
Yep.
When they're done.
Back. Cheers.
You done?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go,
There
mate.
we go, chef.
That'll do. Thank you.
Now we're cooking.
Happy days. Cool. So if you want to bring that aubergine over to me, a little bit of salt. Bang. Just drop it in, Chief. Thank you.
So that's the aubergine. That's the sort of heart of the flesh of the aubergine that's just gone in there that Andrew's
That's
done.
right. And then what we're going to do is, Andrew, do you want to finally chop some coriander for me, please?
There,
The
Andrew,
coriander. Do you want to finally chop
Let's
that
take some of
coriander?
these.
There you go. So yeah, you don't really need to cook it. All you want to take is that rawness off that off the shallot, and that's pretty much the barta done. So we're just going to into that. We're just going to put some of the cracked coriander. These have been lightly toasted off beforehand anyway, so that's that done. And then once you get that coriander chopped for me, don't need much, just enough for this really. Okay, and what we'll also do, we've got some yogurt which I strained overnight in a bit of muslin.
Cool.
And we're going to bind that in with the actual aubergine. And that's just going to add a little sour hint to it. So it's like different notes of sourness in this dish.
And again, this is something you'd make in advance, yeah?
Yeah, I mean this is something that's normally served cold, and they normally have it with bread. So,
Okay.
So it works really well.
Did everyone get some of the raw mango?
But it's just a very
Yeah.
that raw mango.
No?
It's a very different sourness that you
Yeah.
get. There you go. Just drop that in, and we're done. Cool. Happy days. Thank you. Cool. All right, mate. Cool. And then we'll move that to the side. So that's 2 components done. And then greens. So for the greens, what we've got, just do the final bit for that barta. So it's a little bit of ginger. So I'm just going to take a few thin slithers of ginger. And then we're just going to chop that in. There you go.
Can you use any other fish with this, Akhtar?
Mate, and like I say, any white fish works really well with
Okay.
it. I've found like traditionally they'd use it with like an Indian mackerel or a kingfish.
Okay.
I found with the oily fishes it tends to clash with the richness of the coconut milk, but
Right.
that's a personal preference. In India that's what they'd serve it with, and they're quite happy doing that. But for us, obviously, we've just got a different approach and understanding, and I just found it a bit too rich. So any white fish, even chicken actually, if you up the spices on it, make it a little spicier, it's a fantastic sauce to go with chicken. All right, so we're going to get the greens done now. Greens are really simple. So we'll get that done. A little bit of butter into a pan. So greens-wise, we've got some spinach and we've got some choy sum. I love this particular leaf. It's like my favourite leaf at the moment, or it has been for quite some time. And we've got some samphire as well, and that's just going to add the flavours of the sea, really. Just really salty. It's just got a really nice texture to it. So,
Will, James,
That's
I know you guys are busy over there. Have you got any samphire? Andrew, do you want to run in fact, there we go. Do you want to get one of your guys to pass that around in the audience so they can have a taste? So we'll pass some samphire around, and you can have a taste of that. Some of that Akhtar's using in his dish.
So just get the stalks in first. Got the leaf as well. So it's just got different textures in the actual greens as well. So first things first, into that, as it's foaming away, just put 3 or 4 cockles into that. And that's just to open those up, and once they open up, we'll start to carry on with the rest of the greens.
So bringing you around some of the samphire, have a little taste of that. Let us know what you think.
And then we've got that.
It gives it a little bit of a saline flavour.
Yeah, it's a nice salty. And one of the great things about Will and the way they do it as well, they can regulate the amount, how salty it is, which is actually great. There you go, just gonna literally wait for those to open up, and then we'll move on to the next stage.
So the lid's just causing the steam and helping them to cook?
That's right, yeah. Just cool.
Do you want that left on, or?
Yes, please. I need that heated up for the fish.
For the fish, no worries.
Thank you. And into that, first load of greens. Just put a small drop of water just to create a bit of steam in the pan again, so we don't burn that butter too much.
Everyone had a taste of the samphire? Nice.
Sorry. That salt again, please. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Thank you. So yeah. And then I'm going to just put a clove of garlic in there as well, just to, and all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to literally crush it and put it in so I can take it out. So just scenting the actual, the greens. So into that next, put a little samphire, and then you've got spinach, and then we've got this as well. So could you just keep an eye on that and just toss that through? So we just want to literally wilt that off. And then for the actual fish itself, I always think it's important when you're cooking fish, you always start with fish at room temperature. A little bit of oil in the pan. We're good? Happy days. So get that pan, just right temperature on that pan. So yeah, if you always start off with the fish at the room temperature, like a piece of meat, you treat it just the same. So that's perfect. So you get an even cook. So the fish cooks through perfectly without getting like a cold center or anything like that. So what we've got here is like the fish is gone skin down. We're going to cook the fish about 80% skin side down, so you can try and crisp that skin up. So there you go. So that's the fish on now. So keep an eye on that fish for me. This guy's incredible. Well done. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're going to, just to plate this up, we'll get the greens and we just start building around this ring.
So Akhtar, this is a main course at the restaurant?
It is, yeah. So, it's one, this particular sauce is, I guess it's a signature. This is a very simplified version of it, but it's a signature sauce of mine. It's one that I did for the Great British Menu, the sauce that made it to the banquet, actually. So,
and how many people did you cook for at the banquet?
It was 120, I think. So it was a let's just say it was a busy day.
Yeah,
a long one.
Mark Abbott was here yesterday with his dish, and
it's not easy.
Full on, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is full on. But how's that fish coming along? No, I'll keep it further. So what you want to do, you want to wait till that's about 80% through. So cook your fish always skin side down, your presentation side down. Cook it through most of the way there, and just leave it as it is, and just don't move it around much. Just let it do its thing. Yeah, cool. So we've got that, and then we've got our aubergine to go on. Cool. And
It's
then
not hot. Can we get
we're
that
just
in
going
the
to get
audience? Cheers, yeah.
where is it?
So some of Akhtar's aubergine caviar, we'll just get in some taster pots for you. You can have a taste of that. That'll come out next.
Just going to put
How's the fish doing, Andrew? All right? You on it?
a few cockles that we cooked off earlier on. Cool. And then what we've got here, on all my dishes, I like to play around with textures and temperatures. I think it's all about palate memory. It's all about keeping your palate interested. So what I've got here, I've got some mooli, daikon radish, which I've just blanched in scented water. So it's just got little salt and then a little bit of Bengali lemon in it. So the Bengali lemon's just got a lovely flavour to it. So I'm just going to put a few of those on. And I normally try and serve that fridge cold, so when you bite into it as you're eating, you get that cold hit, and then that just like wake sort of starts your palate off again. It's just one of those little tricks that we do. So yeah, the dish is coming together now. How's that fish coming along? Cool? Great. Just turn it over. So yeah, so I'm just going to get some, it's like some broccoli frills here. So Will was telling me about this when he was developing this. You know, is it 10 grams of this has got as much nutrients as a whole head? Is that right?
Do you want the butter in with the fish, chef?
Yes, please, yeah. There you go. A little bit of butter. And then we've got some little mustard flour there. So
just baste it over. That's it. That's it. So coming into the audience, we've got some of the aubergine puree. So as Akhtar said, he's burnt the aubergine on the outside. And he's mixed that with some shallots, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of ginger. So just have a taste of that. Obviously, because he's from Birmingham, he's using tweezers, as Glyn was yesterday. We had a big tweezer debate yesterday with Glyn.
We don't know what to do with our tweezers.
It must be a local thing.
Cool. I'll have that. Perfect. Cool. A little bit of salt. And then the sauce. So we've made a little well.
Andrew, just do me a favour. Just can you reach over and move those micro-herbs out of the way? Don't. That's it. Well done. Just so the overhead camera can get everything. Cheers.
There you go. Where shall I put it?
Leave them there, chef.
Cool.
We're on camera. Oh, wow. Look at that. What an amazing dish. I'm going to come into the audience and do a few questions. Next up on stage, we've got Adam Reed at 2 o'clock. But before that, while you're all here, please put your hands together. A massive round of applause for Akhtar Islam.
Thank you, guys.
Big round of applause for Andrew. Isn't that a stunning dish? Okay, so questions. It's very simple. Put your hand in the air. We'll bring you a mug after you've answered the question. If you can introduce yourself and then ask Akhtar the question.
Hello, my name is Ali Khan.
Hello, Ali.
I'm a student of UCB studying BA Culinary Arts Management. My question is, if you had coconut water for the coconut sauce you did, would you have used it?
No, not really, because obviously the coconut milk itself, the coconut water, there's no space for it in this dish. Coconut water, if I had coconut water, I'd drink it.
I see. Okay.
But no, coconut milk, it's the body of the sauce. That's what creates the sauce. So you need the coconut milk.
Okay.
And when they normally make coconut milk, it's almost like olive oil. They don't actually use the water from the coconut because that's got a lot of high sugar content. They get the flesh of the coconut, they scrape it out, and then they grind it down with a little bit of water, and then they pass it. So that's what it is. So, and like olive oil, you got different grades. So you want to essentially get the first press, like what we had there, is really thick and really rich.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Brilliant. This young lady here got a question as well. Again, if you can just introduce yourself, then ask Akhtar the question.
My name's Faye Turnbull, and I'm a student at Walsall College. My question is, have you got any recipes we could use for what you've just done?
I believe they're all on the website, right?
Oh, okay, thank you.
Excellent question. I'll plug the website in a minute. This lady here had a question as well. Okay,
Obviously,
so if you
go
can,
to actorislam.co.uk, there's
Yeah.
loads of recipes there anyway.
so if you can just ask, if you can introduce yourself and then ask Akhtar the question.
Yeah, my name is Mariana Alina El Mogdad, and I would like to ask if this sauce, what you make first, it go nice with the chicken as well.
Yeah, any white protein it works really well with.
So just white meat.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
anything too strong in flavour, I think it clashes with the sauce. But any white meat, it works really well with. So I've done it with rabbit before. I've done it with chicken. It works.
And we can find this recipe of the sauce because I see it's very, very nice.
Like Mark said, it's
on your
gonna
Facebook account or
it'll be on. We've got it on the
Very
chef's
good.
canteen.
I will follow
Sorry,
you.
staff canteen website. So
I will follow you because
be there.
you're really nice. I saw that.
thank you
nice.
very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so
But yeah, I'm sure that all the recipes are going to be going on the website, right?
Okay, any other questions? Yes, sir. So if you can introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Peter.
Hi, mate.
I was just wondering, what's your favourite fish to cook with?
Favourite fish? I mean, the wild bass has always been a massive favourite of mine. One of the things we have to be considerate about now is, as a species, you know, there's doubts about its longevity, so we need to be
Yeah.
a bit careful with that. So there are, you know, that's definitely my favourite one. But then, you know, monkfish,
Yeah.
any British coastal fish, actually, I do really like. But yeah, I mean, wild bass is my favourite without
Alright.
a doubt.
All right, cheers.
Okay, great question. Time for one more question. This lady here, did you want a question? Okay.
My name's Cassandra Harvey, and I was just wondering, the Samphire, where can you buy that? Because I can't seem to find it anywhere. Just over there.
Yeah. There you go.
Will, James, got you a customer here. There you go.
Lovely Will.
Okay, just before we say thank you to Akhtar, I should have mentioned all of the recipes all the chefs are doing. Damn thing. All of the recipes all the chefs are doing are on the staff canteen. So if you go to thestaffcanteen.com/recipes, you can either search Akhtar by name or search Seabass recipes. Go onto our app, go to the iTunes store, go to the Google store. It's free to download. Again, search Akhtar. You'll find all of the recipes from the chefs today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing dish. What an amazing chef. Product of Birmingham,
Thank you,
Akhtar
guys.
Islam.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, Mark.
Well done,
Thanks,
chef.
mate.
Andrew, well done. Okay, we're going to whisk Akhtar off over here now. He's going to do a little bit of media work, some interviews for us. He's going to hold a mug and say some nice things about us, hopefully. In the meantime, the team here for UCB are going to clear down, and then we've got the amazing Adam Reed up today. So Adam's our last chef. So Adam's up today. Once again, thank you very much, Akhtar Islam.